Well, fellers and non-fellers, there's old Maxine, and that's the old suede grenade. Alrighty, there she is. It's the first time we've seen like this side of the truck since they moved the diesel that was sitting right here. What do you think about her, Dad?
What we've been looking for.
Yep. Been working on getting all the floor cleaned up. Got the carpet out of here and the mat, and she got a couple of ventilation holes, but ain't nothing we can't fix. It's still just the absolute coolest part. And then the hood opens too separately.
Why Anna don't have it open?
Yeah, I don't know. Anna, why isn't it open?
The hood?
Yeah.
So I didn't realize you wanted it open.
So the other day when I was out here, I oiled everything down. Marv Mister oil, PB Blaster, Croil, all sorts of stuff on those valves. Filled the engine with a bunch of Marv Mystery oil to hopefully dislodge any kind of gunk. Poured a bunch down the throat of the carburetor, and I got the rockers all refurbished and the valve covers re-cleaned. So hopefully today the goal is to get the intake off, the heads off, and R&R those. So hopefully maybe we can make this thing run and hopefully not find any issues down inside that engine. There, now we got some light in here. Let me tell you, when you take that air cleaner off, it's really cute having that tiny little 2-barrel carburetor feed this engine, which I'm pretty sure by now is a 361. The 800 series trucks, that was a standard engine. And I still can't find an ID pad on this bad girl. So that's probably what it is. So we got a lot of stuff to take apart just to get the heads off, because unfortunately it's got that big industrial water pump which connects to the heads. So I guess we're gonna get right to it. Well, I'll just give you one little shot here of the engine. There's the distributor. There's that great big governor drive on it that's actually bigger than the little Carter. Or, I don't know what brand that is. Little guy. But just want to show everything in video detail. Everything bolts up. Mostly for me in the future when we can't figure out where things went. Alright, well, we got the alternator and everything off. And if you guys have never sat in Harbor Freight and just worked all the air compressors and made a song, you ain't lived. It's Dad's favorite pastime. Jesus. He's been sitting here for like 5 minutes.
There you go.
Alright, progress update. You saw air compressor off. This is the big cast iron alternator, basically an idler bracket. And there's the air compressor mount. Everything on this thing is just very overkill. But now we got Logan Morgan engine. There again, there's that big governor. I'm guessing that's what that is. Okay, now I can start getting to water pump bolts now, maybe. Woo! Yes! Looking like an engine. Ain't looking like a whole lot of progress, but fans off. Most everything over there's off. And now I'm gonna probably focus on water pump. We gotta get that upper radiator hose off, and then, yeah, Anna's making good work inside the cab. She got almost the floor swept up, and she got them gauges. Look at them gauges. Now those are true classic gauges right there. Why is the steering wheel not clean, Anna?
It is clean. Touch it.
What about that? The dookie. No, the dookie right there.
Oh, I couldn't get it off.
Well, you gotta scrub harder. Anyways, back to work. Yep, there's the water pump. If you've never seen one of these industrial water pumps off, let me tell you, that is a workout and a half. That is a big chunk of cast iron. And now it's looking like a regular big block Chrysler now. And yep, that's a 361. There's no ID pad right there. That's kind of disappointing. So that means the pad's right there. So we do have a 361, I imagine. It looks kind of like an 8, but that's a 3 right there. All right, we know what we got. There's the distributor. Anybody was ever curious what a big truck Chrysler distributor setup looks like, for the governor. And Mom's here. She's hiding. But there's the intermediate shaft, all that special, and that gear actually looks brand spanking new. I just pulled it out, put it back in. It's got a stud there. So now intake, then hopefully figure out how we're gonna get these heads off. Breaking exhaust manifold bolts. I'm gonna show you something that's actually really neat. So we're all used to Chrysler stuff. They generally have the Highland bolts, which have the H on them. Well, every bolt on this truck has DPCD on it. Every single original bolt that hasn't been taken off, like this intake manifold bolt, will have DPCD on it. Dad just pulled one out that had it on there. It's pretty freaking impressive, you know. It's really cool right there. Oh yeah. Oh, there's my Mark Mr. All down the ports.
That's a cute little manifold.
Yeah, I wish it was as light as it was cute.
Yummy.
Look at the grease that's still attached to the manifold. The manifold is 3 times bigger just from the grease. Oh God.
Hey.
Start scraping this stuff off. Okay, the valley's out of the way. That's all the Marble Mist oil I dumped in the engine the other day. Everything looks pretty good. Just a little bit dirty, but not a lot of sludge, thank God. What says you did?
Yeah, I'm on my last manifold bolt.
Oh, cool. Well, you got more over here. Alrighty, well, we got driver's side head off, and she's just oily and grungy. No rust in here, thank God. That's our stuck valve on this side. The other side, we got several. Looks like even though they cranked the engine over, it didn't make contact with the piston, at least not what I've seen yet. Let's go look at the cylinder bores. Alright, well, here's our 361. Cylinders aren't too bad. That one's got a bunch of crap, but I don't see anywhere where valves have made contact. So good. That's really good. Alright, so here's the passenger side. Pretty good. Not so good. Again, not so good. Good. So this side had 2 cylinders that were kind of sticky. And every intake valve on this head is stuck open. So I got those soaking with some Croil. And throughout this next week, we'll probably give you some updates. I'm going to be working on trying to reman these and all the parts, get everything detailed and hopefully functional. We're going to see if we can get the engine turning over. All right, well, that's going to conclude us with the suede grenade for now. Now we get to let all the cylinders kind of soak with some Croil in them and come back with a battery and see if we can maybe get her unstuck and get her whirling over. But for now, I'm going to go back home and I'm going to work on those cylinder heads. Can't swing the fenders in just yet because we got to close the hood, but that's quite an accomplishment. I think Anna said it took us like 4 hours, full teardown. So that's not terrible. You can see that it's not one of those super cool, super thick blocks. However, I do see something now. That freeze plug is kind of popped out a little bit. Might need to tap that one back at home. No cracks or anything on this side. And it's a 61 casting block like we showed you here. 223 TR36. Just sure the one didn't get stamped. It was probably a Friday for the old Chrysler plant. So it says you did.
Another engine.
Yep. Let's get home and see what we can get done. As you see, it's full vertical. You shut that down. The hoses were in the way. All locked up. Let's go work on parts. Alrighty, guys and gals, so I think we got just about everything. It's a week later since we filmed the disassembly. We have push rods that Dad found. He's walking to go poop. So he's not gonna be real talkative. He got poop. So distributor, everything is completely redone. Redid everything. Didn't bother filming, you know, this is all just cleaning. Carburetor seems to work. It squirts fuel and everything, so it should be good. We'll see how that works. Got all the miscellaneous junk in there. The lines, the alternator's all cleaned up. Air compressor works. Got it all cleaned up, painted like it was supposed to be. The mount, the pulley setup. I got the gasket for the air compressor because that's actually the base to it. All the water pump. Oh my God, that thing was a pain. The thing is huge. I found a bunch of gaskets in my old gasket kits because they no longer come with the extra gaskets for like industrial stuff, the new ones. So luckily I had all the gaskets for said water pump and for these heads. You're gonna have to customize the valve cover gaskets to fit these 4 boulders, but everything looks pretty good. I appreciate you guys for checking out the head rebuild video. That's currently sitting at like 1,500 views and just released that yesterday. It'll be Friday. You guys will be seeing this the week following probably. Hopefully we can get this engine unstuck and get all this back together today and tomorrow, Saturday, Sunday, and maybe see if it'll turn over and maybe run for you. But here's to that. Wish us luck. Okay, so I had a sneaking suspicion this engine might have been gone through before. I got all the pistons cleaned up. We got to get those 2 cylinders broke free. We're gonna try and just bump it with the battery. Dad's talking with one of the neighbors here. So it has been rebuilt. These are 30 over 361 pistons, so it's a 366. Oh God, or 36. Yeah. Oh God, it's a Chevy big block now. Oh God, it'll never run. But
Oh, something clicked. Try again. Yeah, it's just clicking the starter.
all right, well, we resorted to this. It just kind of bumped with the key, but it wouldn't turn the engine over. Started with just bumping. So we brought the big guns, our tried and true grade 8 pulling thread, porta power, which barely fits in that little baby bore in the 361, and we're gonna force this thing to move. We see that number 2 is all the way down, so we know how much we can travel, so we're good there. Just don't want to overextend the crank and we'll be fine. Alrighty, so it's all set up. Dad said it's already kind of starting to move. I'm gonna get on the other side.
Half inch.
Dad says we moved her 1/2 inch, so let's try the key now, see if we got any chance. Clear?
Yeah. I hope I better oil these babies down. That's all it took was a little bit of moving.
Sweet, that's freed up now. Okay, we don't need the porta power anymore. We're gonna oil these babies up, clean up the bores, and that's good news. Woo! All right, well, we got everything about as clean as it's gonna get internally. It's not kosher. Those 2 middle cylinders, they're just gonna be along for the ride. If they start firing, that'd be freaking sweet, but I'm putting about as much faith in those as we find in Jimmy Hoffa.
It'll be all right.
Yeah, but Dad's got that manifold cleaned off. We got the cylinders clean. All the lifters work. They're all moving up and down. That's good. Got to put back to where we had her from last weekend, and we're getting ready to clean the deck surface one last time. Put some cylinder heads on her and get her going. Okay, cylinder heads on. Just got to get the bolts in it and stuff. Get everything nice and clean. I do see that the dookie of the rest of the engine might still be visible, but that water pump ought to cover all that crap up. Sorry, yeah, we're not painting all that. You guys forgot what this thing looks like. This is just the pinnacle of super freaking cool. Super cool. By the way, I can't show you guys real easily, but I'm gonna try real fast. It has a gear drive in it from the factory. See that? It's 2 big gears. There's no idler gear. So actually, I believe it's the camshaft turns backwards. So it's reverse rotation. I got a marine engine. Don't quote me on everything, but it's freaking cool. Everything was very heavy duty. This thing is built like a diesel truck. Meant to run like one too. Meant to run forever. Okay, guys and gals, so we are getting the heads bolted on. I got 3 head bolts on my side started. Dad's working diligently on his, because he's not got a camera to film and, you know, try and document the experience. The thing I'm gonna do, I'm gonna set you guys up somewhere up there. I'm gonna spend the next 5 minutes trying to figure out where to put the camera while Dad finishes up the heads, and that's kind of what we're doing. Oh, there's nothing better than working on this big dookie colored Dodge semi and working on my dad. It's pretty cool. And also thank you to my brother who actually brought us silicone. We forgot red RTV words. I didn't look hard enough to find gaskets for the exhaust manifold, so we're just gonna put a pile of red RTV and they'll be fine. Heads are torqued down to 70 foot-pounds. Followed the truck book on the torque sequence. A little weird, but we got them torqued down. Dad's gonna work on exhaust manifolds, and I'm gonna work on the top end. And yeah, wish us luck. Try and get her going. Hey, a little update for everybody. Found a valley pan. Had to drill the holes out for the EGR because this thing, instead of that being exhaust gas, it's actually water passages. So I had to drill those holes out, and we got it all sauced up, getting the intake manifold bolts in. And I want to try and get all the rocker gear on and get the valve cover set on it tonight before we have to head out before it gets too late. But that's a big lump of red. Holy crap. Mom, what do you think of that red?
It's okay, it's red.
And see, Mom couldn't run away from the camera.
No.
Dad's bringing us bolts for the valley pan. Okay.
Need to make it green.
No! Oh, God! Here's, I want to show you push rods installed on this side. That side's got rocker arms on it. You're going to get the rockers on this, set the valve covers on it, and call it a night. All right, guys and gals, we're back today. It is Sunday. We got all the rockers on last night. Don't know if we showed you, but they're all on there. Probably need to torque those down. They do have a torque spec, but boot and tight is a torque spec as well. Figured out how the governor works. Got all that set up. Pull the carburetor back off. We're going to go ahead and get this water pump on because it's time for that. Got all the bolts for that. All right, well, we've got a lot of work done on the truck, and that's happening. Dad's getting the old heater hoses cut off. Water pump's completely assembled on there. Carburetor's attached. Some of the sucky lines are on. Dad got the bottom hose on, and that also. How you feeling, Dad?
I think that bottom hose sucked. That's because we had a hose.
Anyways, alrighty, so we got that valve cover on, and we are literally just doing piddly stuff, all the small stuff. Dad started working on this bracket because I was taking too long with that valve cover. Had to cut the cork ones up to fit the 4-bolt stuff, but we got that. Like I said, water pump fans, all that on. So we'll get the alternator on this side, the air compressor. It won't be long before we can see if this thing will fire up for everybody. Michael's gonna run that gas pedal, so we got the air compressor mount on there, got carburetor. Distributor was a pain in the butt. See what, yeah, that's working. Sweet. That's pulling the governor spring back. Good. Let me show you guys something. Let me show you the suckiest of suck. I thought I'd be nice and not put this distributor drive in until last, thinking it'd be in the way. You see that nut right there? This distributor runs on a stud right there. And that nut is not very friendly to get to because hands don't fit in there too good. So trying to be nice, that failed. Hey, we are definitely getting close. Inner fender is loosely mounted with the voltage regulator. Alternator's hooked up, got these belts on. Dad's got the air compressor on there. Michael is currently hooking up lines to the air compressor. And then we're gonna run some plug wires, but we're getting really close to seeing if it will come to life. You know, this engine might just be utter toast. It may not run at all, which is a chance we're willing to take for all this work. All right, we're gonna test for spark now. We got everything basically hooked up. Michael's crawling up inside the big girl and see if we got spark. Hopefully I don't get shocked. Nothing. All right, we cleaned up the points a little bit. Let's see if we got spark on the points now, and then we'll put the cap back on. Yep. They're sparking real good. Go for it.
Try again.
There's a little one, I thought.
Yeah, there is.
Yeah. Really faint. Okay.
All
right, crank it. Okay, that's good news. Okay, a little bit of an update. So we've been bumping this thing over until we found the mark on the balancer. We got the piston up at the top, and it ain't got a lick of compression one, but we're gonna hope and pray that we can make this thing kind of maybe burp. Maybe a little bit of heat will free up the rings, but that typically never works out for us. We've tried that in the past, but we're gonna try it anyways because sun's going down, and we don't want this to be a video where will it run and it doesn't run, but sometimes that's the case. Not all these things come back to life. All right, here's the moment of truth. Carburetor's got gas, we got spark. We'll see if we got enough compression to make it light. Maybe not. I was putting plug wires back the way we had them originally because we figured that backfires better than the other backfire. There. That's not much better. Okay, so just got back in the truck, pulled all the push rods and rockers out. Dad had this idea that maybe these Ford push rods we bought that are the right length, maybe that huge ball on the end, which is just a 5/16 ball like what it's supposed to be for a Chrysler, was maybe holding the valves open. And it was kind of making sense because the valves are held open, then it's going to have to get to 180 out. So we have one of the stock Ford push rods, one I just cut a taper on my lathe to match the original. And I was thinking maybe that'll be a difference. So I marked each push rod with this solid roller lifter, same marking. All right, guys and gals, so we think we may know part of the issue. This is all for a test. So last night, Dad and I drove back out to the truck, I pulled all the push rods out earlier that day and checked them with some of the originals. I don't know if I showed them, but the new ones had big balls on each end. I know, funny, haha. Anyways, so we went out there and we were thinking maybe the valve's being hung open. Maybe those new push rods ain't right. So put all those push rods out, cranked the engine over, and now it's getting about 50 psi on number one. So we're thinking maybe those push rods out of that Ford weren't exactly the same, and who knows if these are even the original push rods. Now we know the engine's been gone through. So I have spent hours, and that doesn't look like all the push rods. That's kind of worrying me. Customizing these old ones to mimic more of the original ones. And I just put blue Dykem on, yeah, there's that lined up. Just put Dykem on this side so we know those go to the top, those go to the lifters. Let's see if that'll work. Alrighty, so we're back here at the truck. It is raining, of course, but this is the dedication. I didn't like the ending I had to film where we gave up on her, so we custom did all those push rods, got this side on, and getting ready to install this side of rocker as soon as Anna brings me them, and we're gonna give this one more go. I tried straightening out the push rods that came out of this engine, and they're just no good. And there's no guarantee that they're the same height, but they are the exact same height as these, and these are now almost identical to the ones that came out of it. So here's to hoping this works. All right, here we go. It is cold, it's rainy, refusing to give up. We got gas in the carburetor, push rods are redone. Dad, see what happens. Oh, we gotta put the battery cable on. All right, Dad, give her a shot. Well, she's not popping out of the carburetor now. Before it did. She definitely don't like that adjustment.
Trim it all around just a little bit.
Okay. That sounds much happier.
Yeah, go ahead. Let me get a little gas to it.
It did.
Right.
Looky there!
Let me get a little more gas. Okay.
was definitely a glorious moment. Yeah, Mike, do you want to be on camera? No. Well, we got Mike standing next to me. He's the son of the owner of this truck and son of the family who owned this place. And first time we've heard her come to life. And what do you guys say, like 20, 25 years?
Oh, it ran 7 years ago.
Okay, 7 years ago was the last time she was running. Yeah, we got oil pumping up. That's good. I saw oil pressure come up on the gauge. Everything seemed to be working pretty good. I didn't look at it that close. I just know it moved the gauge. So now I guess put the valve covers on it. We don't have a whole lot of coolant in it. Didn't think we actually gonna get that far. As you can hear, there is a big air leak. But we got lots of things to contend with too. But at least it's freaking running. We got her going. Woo! That is what I was hoping to do. I actually had to film like a sad ending the last day we're out here. This thing not running, and I did not want to end it with that. So at least now we know it'll run. So put these valve covers on it and see if we run her a little bit more and get some heat in her.
Okay. Don't say that. I'm going to.
I want to add this little bit of information. This after the fact, but I just want to let you know the reason why the truck smokes so bad is probably because it's got ATF and a little bit of Marble Mist oil soaked mixed in with the gas, just to help lubricate things. Good God, that thing is hungry. Yeah.
What?
This jug was full when we started. Now we have been taking from this jug. This jug when we came out here was full up to here, and now the line is right there. So yeah, but we're gonna stop for now. It's awesome to hear it running. That is really good. We'll fix that air leak and maybe brakes will come back. Maybe, who knows? But that's gonna call it. It's freaking sweet. Get some coolant in this thing too, for sure. Oh, it says you did.
It's running.
We got that some gun running. Now I can do the air cleaner. That is the ending of that video I wanted. I did not want the sad, it doesn't run ending. So let's just yes, that did not shut all the way. Dang it. So as always, guys, thank you for checking this one out. We appreciate you for watching. Dad, you look so little back there. Let me just get closer. Anna, get over here. Anna was helping. So This is fantastic. This is absolutely fantastic. So thank you for watching, guys. Glad you checked it out. Hopefully you stay tuned for the rest of the build on this big old 800 series Dodge. We'll catch you then. Bye bye.
Bye bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye bye.